Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Leonard Maganza with Syniti, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDO IQ, and International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. And welcome. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Ethiraj Purushothaman, the head of advanced analytics and data science at Best Buy. I'm particularly excited about today's session. Ethiraj has spent some time in industry. He spent some time in consulting, and now he's back in industry. He's spent significant chunks of time at a lot of big known brands. And I think the insights of going from an inside view and an outside view, I think will be very insightful. I know he's actively always trying to make a difference from his department in his organization, both with lessons learned and inspiration. So Ethiraj, I'm going to ask you to tell us about yourself. And while you do that, talk a little bit about the data science and AI, ML, COP industry speaker events that you guys sponsor.
So my background, as you explained, I have a mix of consulting and industry experience. I've been in this space for about 25 years, and I'm very passionate about data analytics, data science, and technology, leveraging them to solve business problems. To drive impact for companies. And I've worked across many different industries, mostly in the B2C space, and also working across many different functions and the senior leaders to solve high impact business problems for them, as well as in driving transformation within those companies to transform their brands and drive impact. Mm-hmm. And yes, I was actually in consulting for quite some time and was working with many different CXOs. But I also felt that there is a huge opportunity to do this on the other side of the fence. And so hence I got an opportunity to do this at Coke, where I was heading the global advanced analytics and data science. And I worked with all the business leaders as well as technology leaders to help develop the future solutions for driving business impact across marketing, commercials, finance, and supply chain. Mm-hmm. And so had a great success there. And then I got this opportunity here at Best Buy, which I felt it was even better because of what Best Buy was trying to do. And also being a retailer, they have more data and also they're closer to the customers. So that was the reason why I switched to Best Buy, and it's been a great opportunity, great experience so far.
Makes sense. Hey, thank you for that. Ethiraj, look, analytics continues to be the buzzword, right? Especially when you throw in things like AI and ML, and you threw in a bunch more. You and I together, we talked about, industry versus consulting. We talked about B2B versus B2C, right? I would throw in that mix. Some other buzzwords, but you use business outcomes, which is the one that kind of, really caught my attention, right? And, Best Buy's, they're ubiquitous. They're really a household name. Few brands, achieve that. One of the buzzwords you didn't throw in there was business and IT, right? And the question is, they're both consumers of, the analytics that you do, right? How do you show value at Best Buy, right? And how do you tie it to hard value, right? They're a publicly traded company, right? They're measured quarter by quarter on stock price. And I know you're really focused on trying to make a difference. How do you bring all that together to really show the value?
Oh, that's a great question. As data analytics practitioners, our main focus is to deliver outcomes to the business. And the outcomes can be in terms of enabling better decisions, driving better data-driven customer experiences, employee experiences, data-driven operational efficiencies. So we always start with the outcomes, try to map that to the decisions and the experiences and the efficiency we need to drive, and then identify what are the data analytics solutions that we need to deliver. So that's one way to look at from an outcome point of view. The other way to look at from a value is to also be able to act as an advisor to the business stakeholder in terms of helping them identify what is possible through data analytics. So helping the business stakeholders to think through the business problem using some design thinking frameworks to identify the questions and then helping them answer the questions. And sometimes we can also have the opportunity to identify questions that they are not thinking about today, which can actually help them uncover new insights and new perspective about business, and that could actually lead to new business models and bigger impact. And at Best Buy, our data analytics group is always focused on outcomes. So outcomes in terms of what are the decisions we need to enable, and what are the data-driven experiences that we need to enable in terms for customers, employers, as well as for and the experience that we need to, the data-driven operational efficiencies that we need to drive. And then we develop all the roadmap and the solutions for delivering that. And specifically in terms of hard value, the way we try to measure that is we try to adopt the same level of metrics that our business partners are measured on. So when we work with the different business groups, we try to look at what are the key measures that they are accountable for, and then have those same measures as a key output target for us to deliver the outcomes. Some of the examples are like for the customer organization, we help them driving increase in customer engagement, increase in customer relationship and customer base. And for marketing group, we actually help improving their marketing effectiveness and efficiency through media optimization. And for category product team, we help improve their overall margin through price optimization. For supply chain, we look at overall efficiency improvement that we were able to deliver through network design, inventory optimization, as well as all other analytical outputs. And then finally, for services organization, we actually measure ourselves in terms of by how much are we able to improve the quality by helping them with the different tools and insights to the issue resolution. So that's how we try to measure the output so that we are actually aligned, and then whenever we make an impact, that actually translate into an impact for the business.
Look, you said two things that I can identify with that I think are really poignant. And one is the bi-directionalness of what the goal is. So start with the end in mind and say, we'd love to know this. Can we find it out? And then alternatively say, hey, look, given new technologies and access to new data, maybe outside your organization, what's the art of the possible? So that the business leaders are thinking about that. I think that's super important. And then the other thing you said is, a shared KPI, right? That's really how you stay aligned. Yeah, that's super important. Hey, look, at Syniti, I work for Syniti. I've been here 20 years. We're a data company. We think every problem is a data problem. We're increasingly involved in analytics. And the reason is a lot of times the problem that someone thinks is in the algorithm in the analytics report, right? Or what the target is. Oftentimes the root cause we find is actually the data, right? Because otherwise you're just getting kind of bad information faster. Can you share any time that you've had an aha moment? Oh, it's the data, in your journeys?
Sure. So there are many instances. I would like to talk about one of those instances when I was working for Musigma in my prior jobs. So at that time, we were actually working for one of the large technology company, which actually manufactures technology products for consumers, small, medium companies, as well as large enterprises. And the head of the supply chain over there had a huge problem with their on-time delivery. So they had a very good on-time delivery performance. They are supposed to be the gold standard for supply chain at one point in time. And their on-time delivery performance was about 90% and above. But during that time, over a period of 12 months, their performance was degrading from 90% to less than 70%. So they engaged us to help solve that problem. So we worked with the team to discuss the problem, to define the problem, identify the different factors, hypotheses, the business decisions, questions. And based on all the different analysis and all the different outputs that we created, the key finding or the insight that we generated was that the biggest cause for their degrading on-time performance was actually the early delivery that they were actually doing for some of the large orders. Mm-hmm. So what was happening was the sales teams that were working for some of these large companies, when they get these large orders, they don't follow the process, the order management process, and then they don't set the right delivery timelines. So that was actually creating a disruption in the overall supply chain fulfillment system, and it was actually clogging a lot of resources towards that large orders, and hence it was impacting the overall on-time delivery performance. This was a big aha moment for the supply chain leader. So he never thought that the late delivery of many of those orders were actually because of early delivery of some of the large orders. And it was a big aha moment for him. And then we developed many different outputs to help improve the compliance with the sales teams to change their behavior, as well as we also automated some of those processes in the fulfillment system. And we were able to improve the on-time performance to more than 95% over a period of 2 years. I mean, so this is one example. I thought it was a very good example at least from my career, in terms of how these insights create some aha moments for the senior executives.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're highlighting a great point, right? In the world of, integrated supply chains and wanting to measure something like on-time delivery, there's a lot of dependencies. Hey, listen, thank you, Ethiraj, for joining me today. And thank you, guests, for listening. And please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
Thanks, Leonard. And thanks, CDO, for the opportunity.